In March of 2019, 33 parents of college applicants were accused of paying more than $25 million to William Singer. This scandal is known as Operation Varsity Blues. Two of the parents involved were renowned actresses Lori Loughlin and Felicity Huffman. Elite universities involved include UT Austin, the University of Southern California, UCLA, and many more universities across our nation. Many of the students involved in the scandal went to very expensive upper-level high schools, where resources were abundant and the kids already had an unfair advantage in applying for college. This includes students needing to take the ACT or the SAT for admissions. The SAT was created by the College Board, but it doesn't even share how accurate it can predict college and career success. Now, with many universities waiving the standardized testing requirement for admissions, this begs the question of how important these high-stake tests really are. Minority students comprise at least 75% of the student population enrolled in 30% of all public school students. Many minority students can find that the plumbing doesn't work in their school, the sinks can be disconnected, and bug infestations have been reported. High-stakes testing is just another boundary that minority students have to overcome in order to match their white counterparts. Students who undergo their K-12 education in well-funded schools have access to quality resources such as well-trained faculty, educational resources, and are logically more likely to receive the knowledge they need to succeed on these high-stakes tests. In order to close the racial achievement gap, we need to look at a society in which there are no standardized tests being administered. A great example of a country doing this is Finland. Finnish schools pride themselves on having no standardized tests, longer recess times, and free school lunches. With no high-stakes tests, students' happiness and satisfaction levels are significantly higher than those compared to in the US. Through researching the Finnish education system, we believe that eliminating high-stakes testing is the first step in drastically reducing the inequality of opportunity minority and lower SES class students face.
I was able to ask Professor Seppala a couple of questions over LinkedIn chat about the Finnish education system and their practices when it comes to mandatory exams. My first question focused primarily on standardized testing in higher education, where I asked, in the United States, our education system puts a lot of emphasis on standardized testing in middle and high schools. Taking tests and submitting scores on exams such as the SAT are required by nearly all colleges and universities as parts of their application. As we understand it, Finland has no similar mandatory exams, and I asked him in his opinion, does he think the Finnish education system is benefited by having none of these? And his response was a little enlightening. He said, matriculation examinations is a national exam generally taken at the end of Finnish upper secondary school or their high school. Its purpose is to discover whether students have assimilated the knowledge and skills required by the curriculum for upper secondary school and whether they have reached an adequate level of maturity in line with the goals of that school. It's an entry exam for most universities and studies in most occasions. Given his response, I was a little bit disappointed. I figured I was starting to think that maybe their system, wasn't as different as ours, and maybe there is a little bit more inequality in Finnish education than Sophia and I thought. That was until I asked him what he thought about what Finland gets right about learning, where he said, "One of our nation's goals is social equality. All Finnish people within our society have the same status in accessing free education. I believe that serves as a motivation to many. Also provides for an opportunity for people to jump from one social class to another faster than in other countries." That's it. That's the kicker. When the society is focused on social inequality, the education system will just fall right into place. As a final softball question, I asked, essentially, what are the benefits of receiving an education in Finland in comparison to other countries? And he said, in Scandinavian countries, the system is basically the same. In comparison to other European countries, the difference starts to increase. Receiving an education leads to higher quality of living. Higher quality of living can be measured by gross domestic product. I don't know how I brought that in, but additionally, as mentioned before, our education is free. I can basically return any day to school whenever I want. Even if you're 60 years old, we promote lifelong learning, and it is always free. So all in all, we can see that the Finnish people, and by extension the Finnish government and their institutions, have a greater emphasis on equality than in the United States. There's a little disparity between classes and races. What I take from this is that when the society desires less inequality, the systems, like education, won't fall far behind.